the off season, I come here every morning at 5:30 a.m. sharp. This beach, this spot, to exercise my mind, my body, and my soul. Every major decision I've made has been made with the sound of the waves crashing in my ears. And I was standing right here when I made the one that changed my life. I was sitting and I was just looking out the ocean. I had talked to Chauncey and he was like, you know, dude, this is it. This is your opportunity. You've been talking about you want to win. This is it right here. And I was like, nah, why can't they? And I was still fighting it.
Kevin Garnett was at a crossroads. He had been a Minnesota Timberwolf for 12 years. It was the only team he'd ever known, and he seemed destined to play there for good. But things had changed, and he was thinking about leaving.
I was sitting right at the beach, and I was just like, I'm finna do this. I'm finna do this. Man, I'm about to leave Minnesota. And that was probably one of the hardest things up until this date that I've had to do.
Some big news, and we begin with a big ticket. That's right, Kevin Garnett officially a member of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
In Boston, KG would join perennial All-Stars Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, forming what would come to be known as the Big Three.
When I seen it, I was like, is this surreal or what? And Ray was like, man, this is surreal.
Smile.
All right, now you need a serious one, then the smile. There we go.
He was excited to have a chance to win, and I think that Ray and Paul gave him a renewed hope, and he seemed like a little kid.
I reached out to Paul's 4 phones and left a message on all 4. Luckily, Ray had 2 phones, and he immediately called me back. And
I didn't recognize the area code.
You know. I'm a strong believer in try to put the past to the side and focus on what you have and then embrace it and go forward. And that's what I did. I wouldn't go that far and say that we're the team to beat because we still have things to prove. We still have to work on chemistry and bonding. I can say that we're going to be a force to reckon with. I will say that.
To see more of KG's incredible journey, check out Kevin Garnett, KG. Buy it today at NBAstore.com. With his mother now firmly behind him, there was nothing to hold Kevin back. But his skills had outgrown the courts of South Carolina, and his mom would move the family to Chicago, where a country kid would get a heavy dose of urban reality.
You're talking about a 16, 17-year-old kid having to pick up from South Carolina from this small community and moving to Chicago, you know, plus being around your friends all your life and then all of a sudden not knowing anybody was tough, you know, mentally tough.
Chicago was like being in hell. You know, so much you gotta know, and so much you gotta be, you know, you gotta be on your P's and Q's about the inner city, man. The city is fast, and coming from, you know, slow South Carolina, you know, protected, having the foundation. You come from that and then come up to starting over from the bottom.
And the tough city streets brought out the toughness in Kevin.
Passion, the domination to bite his head off and don't look back. All that came into play when I got to Chicago.
Right, good, put it back in, there you go.
It gave me attitude. That's when I got the growl and the vengeance. Everything about standing up for your own, not backing down, all that came into play when I got to Chicago. Once I got through that year, I knew that I could survive anything. I think everybody goes through something in life that makes them who they are in the present, and that's what that was for me.
By 1995, every college in the country wanted KG. But he had other plans.
He was in Chicago and he called me. It was after school. And he was like, you know, I think I'm going to write a letter to David Stern and put my name in the hat. And that was it.
I'd like to thank all you for attending my press conference today. As you all know, I declared myself eligible for the NBA draft. I made my decision to declare myself for the draft to keep all my options open.
There was a lot of people that doubted him because it hadn't been done in such a long time. People thought, oh, you know, you're making this kid, you know, bigger than he really is.
When you take on responsibility at an early age, you understand what it takes to get to the next step. If I put everything I have into this and do this the right way, it's got to work out in some ways, some shape, form, or fashion. It's got to work out. So I was like, you know, it's worth a try.
What an atmosphere here in Boston for the Celtics home opener. We're all brothers, fellas. Everybody together.
It's a journey right
no matter
here,
what.
baby.
Let's get it done today, fellas. Let's get it done.
We know how we do it. Let's go.
Stay together.
Celtic! Hoorah! Celtic! Hoorah! Celtic! Hoorah! 1, 2, 3, and blue.
He's in a new place, and he's the kind of person that wants to prove to the people here that, you know, he's worthy. And, of course, he's going to be rejuvenated.
Kevin Garnett, after 12 years at Minnesota, a new life here with the Celtics.
The Celtics clicked right from the start, with KG leading the way.
Impressive win for the Celtics once again.
I thought it was really important to get off to a good start, because that would allow them to buy in. If your best player buys in, then you have a chance to coach your team. He bought in, and then he did it harder than everyone else.
Again by Garnett. And Garnett hustling for the loose ball.
He was a 13-year veteran and a 10-time All-Star, but KG still played as if every game was his last.
Whenever you work hard, man, it's no different from someone punching in 9 to 5. My thing was no different from that.
Blocked by Garnett.
Celtics streak is alive. 8 in a row to begin the NBA season.
You knew about his passion, you knew he was a hard worker, but not at that level, you know, where you see it every single day. Every day in practice. Before practice, after practice. It's non-stop. And the guys are motivated by that to go out there and try to be the best.
I literally had to shorten some of my practices because I knew he wouldn't come out, and that was the only way I could get him to sit down.
You see that he never takes a play off. He'll take charges. He'll sacrifice his body first to the floor.
You got your best player diving on the floor.
And I think that intensity drives your team to a whole different level.
The Boston Celtics will improve to an NBA best, 13-2.
He radiates such intensity that it is impossible for it not to wear off on the other players. He has just changed a culture here within the team.
Pass deflected by Eddie House, picked off by Pierce. Ray Allen for the game. Got it! And the buzzer!
The Celtics made a statement to their skeptics by winning 20 of their first 22 games, matching the best start in franchise history. To see more of KG's incredible journey, check out Kevin Garnett, KG. Buy it today at NBAstore.com.